To this now, the 5 men on trial for allegedly killing Senzo Meyiwa returned to the High Court in Pretoria today. Forensic officer Senzo Meyiwa, who collected evidence from the crime scene, is still on the witness stand. Now, all of the accused have pleaded not guilty to the 2014 murder of the former Orlando Pirates goalkeeper. My colleague eNCA Silindelo Masikane is covering the trial for us. She joins us now for an update. Slee, good morning to you. We'll get into what to expect from court in just a moment, but for some context, what has happened? Bring us to speed with how the trial has been going so far.
Well, some would say it's moving at a snail's pace, but that's to be expected in terms of the magnitude of this particular trial. We've experienced a number of delays since the start back in April, but at this point we're still on witness number 1 for the state, who's under cross-examination. At this point, he's being cross-examined by the lawyer for accused number 5, that is Advocate Silindelo Masikane, and she has gone into a lot of detail in terms of raising questions and concerns around the collection of the evidence, and in particular in terms of what Sergeant Senzo Meyiwa did when he first arrived at the scenes. Not only that, but the delays in him arriving at the scene, and once he was there, it seems he has conceded that he needed assistance in terms of collection, saying because of the fact that there was a high-profile person who had died at the scene, he needed to call in the task team from the national office to come and assist him. And Silindelo Masikane has now gone into a lot of detail in terms of asking him exactly how he collected evidence. It seems that when he first arrived on the scene, he only took 8 photographs and was assisted by the Brigadier Johan Ndlovu, who was the first officer at the scene of the crime. And Advocate Masikane is now questioning why he needed assistance. Was he not skilled enough to be the one who actually secures the crime scene and gathers the evidence? She's also now brought into question the issue around where the evidence was actually kept. And yesterday, Meyiwa then bringing it to the court for the first time that at some point the evidence was kept in his office in the safe. And when Masikane then inquired about the original CD, which had the photographs which he took, he told the court that he doesn't know actually where it is at this point. And so Advocate Masikane has now put it to the court that there is a possibility that the evidence that was collected was actually planted at the scene.
No. And with that being said, we know that all of the accused have pleaded not guilty to this 2014 murder, Slee. So what's to be expected, rather, in court this morning?
Well, what we do expect, of course, is when we resume at 10 a.m. this morning, Sergeant Senzo Meyiwa will still be under cross-examination. Advocate Silindelo Masikane is still canvassing many of the issues that she's finding in terms of his testimony. She's painting him really to be quite an unreliable witness. In fact, the defense in terms of accused 1 to 4 from Advocate Malisa Latefo to Advocate Silindelo Masikane are doing their best in terms of showing the court the inconsistencies in how the crime scene was handled, saying that it was contaminated from the very beginning, that there was an effort to ensure that the crime scene was actually not kept in the manner that it should be in terms of how police arrived and ensuring that those who were in the house were taken out of the house, issues around that. So today we see that cross-examination then continuing. At some point we will see the state then re-examining Sergeant Senzo Meyiwa, at which point that's going to be still remains to be seen, but the court proceedings will be resuming at 10 a.m. this morning, and Sergeant Meyiwa back in the witness box. Whether we'll see another witness being called today, we don't know. It's highly unlikely, but of course a lot of the sideshows taking place around this trial trial just this week, allegations coming from the defense around a second docket, and that particular docket has a different set of suspects. In particular, Advocate Defo naming Kelly Khumalo as the one who allegedly shot Senzo Meyiwa by mistake. And of course, her lawyer has now come out to say that there is a possible legal action they may be taking against these allegations, but also the defense then saying that they plan on laying charges of defeating the ends of justice against Monsami, as well as 1010 Films, which are the producers of the Netflix documentary.
All right, Slee, we'll leave it there for now, but surely we'll come to you as soon as there are other developments. Silindelo Masikane following through, of course, with the Senzo Meyiwa trial, which will, of course, continue on as well today.